How often do you wake up in the morning with perfect hair, already dressed, everything's ready, and yet you still can't get out of bed? It's just impossible. It seems like the bed is just holding on to you. I mean, what are you supposed to do? How often are you just tired throughout the day and you just can't get yourself to do stuff? You just kind of want to take a nap, and then sometimes you actually take the nap, and then you're still tired. And apparently you have a weird hair after that as well. Honestly, so many people deal with tiredness and exhaustion throughout the day and throughout their lives. It's incredible that not much more has been done about it, except, well, the normal solution, which is coffee. We just drug ourselves with coffee and hope to solve the problem, but then we crash later in the day. No, in this video, I want to try to talk about how I've dealt with tiredness and sleepiness, and it's something I've had a lot of issues with, and I still do have a fair bit of issues with them, but I've gotten a lot better than what I used to be. Part of it is the bright sun in the morning, but also just I've implemented a few techniques that have really made a difference in being awake throughout the day. Now, it all boils down to what you could call the triangle of productivity if you were to give it a name. Three very important fundamental things that most people know about, but we don't really usually do anything about them. It's diet, health, and, well, sleep. Obviously, let's take the obvious one first. When you're sleepy, it's in large part because you haven't gotten enough or good sleep. It's the obvious answer, just sleep more. It's why we nap. But usually it's not because of the amount of sleep we get, because I'm sure that a lot of you have the same issue I do, in which even if you sleep in on the weekends, you're still tired throughout the day. Like, I can sleep for 8 or 10 or 12 hours and I'll still be tired. No, it's the quality of the sleep you get instead. It makes a much bigger impact than the amount of sleep you get. And a lot of people, I think, know it, but ignore it or pretend it wasn't so, say it ain't so. Sleep is like showering, or like a lot of other things. The quality of what you do matters a lot more than the amount at which you do it. You can stand in the shower and let the water run over you for however long you want to. It's not going to make you entirely clean. It's not going to clean your hair. Instead, if you use shampoo and soap, it's going to make a bigger difference towards how clean you feel and actually get after the showers. And you can take a 10-minute shower with shampoo and soap and be cleaner than if you did an hour in the shower. And sleep is like that, and where 8 hours of sleep might be what's recommended, but it's a lot more about the quality of the sleep you get. And I'm going to say something that you probably don't want to hear. I didn't want to hear it, and my girlfriend certainly doesn't want to hear it. But one of the most important things in helping you get better sleep is to remove your phone in the evening. And I understand how hard that is, because it's hard. I've done it and I do it now, but it's still hard to do. The general consensus in the scientific community and just the advice is to remove yourself from your phone and your screens 1 hour before going to bed, so that all of that blue light from the screens don't trick your brain into thinking that it's supposed to stay awake. Instead, it'll recognize the less amount of blue light it's getting, and then its internal clock is going to tell you to go to sleep, and you'll actually feel tired when you go to bed, and it's going to help your sleep be a lot more effective. The second thing that I hear again and again, and that I think a lot of people know but just kind of ignore, is that caffeinated drinks make a big difference in the quality of sleep you get. Coffee and tea and energy drinks all sit in your system for a very long time, so we're not just talking 1 to 2 hours right now. We are talking 6 hours before bed. You should stop drinking caffeinated drinks, otherwise they will impact the quality of your sleep. I don't follow the caffeine advice. I drink a cup or a can of tea in the late afternoons or in the evenings because I enjoy it. Ideally, you'd follow all of the advice, for better sleep, but it's not realistic for everyone, so you shouldn't try. Just figure out what works for you and get some better sleep to help you stay more energized throughout the day. The second aspect in the productivity triangle is diet. Again, people don't want to listen to this one, but they know about it. It's just really hard to accept and follow. Fast food is great. At least it tastes great. I love McDonald's. I love Burger King. I love pizza. I love sushi. I love all of it. But I also understand that it's not healthy for me just because it's not healthy. But I also understand that it doesn't provide me with the right nutrients. So it doesn't help me stay as energized as I would like to throughout the day. The same goes for breakfast and for lunch, and for the last while I've been drinking smoothies for breakfast. And while you can put a lot of nutrients into a smoothie, the problem is that it's not always going to taste great, and it takes a lot of experimenting to get it right. And so I've switched a bit away from that, but I would like to revisit it at some point. And the same with lunch. I have had a tendency for pretty much all of my life to ignore or just eat a mediocre lunch, or not even mediocre, just something to just get the hunger away and then deal with that. The problem is hunger isn't a reliable measure of if we're eating the right thing or not. A lot of things can make the hunger go away, but that doesn't mean that it's what we need nutrient-wise or energy-wise, or it's just healthy for us. I mean, just look at the McDonald's example. It does satisfy your hunger, but it's obviously not healthy. So diet is extremely important, and it really does affect how tired you are throughout the day. So my advice is, again, it's really shitty advice, but figure out what works for you. You just need to try a lot of different things and break your habits. Get out of your routines. Stop eating what you've always eaten. Stop taking the same breakfast every day or making the same dinners every week. Start trying something new. Buy a cookbook or find a food blog. There are so many resources on the internet now that you can find any kind of recipe you want and figure out something that works for you. For quite a while there, I ate pie for lunch because it was a lot better than what I'd done previously. Not dessert pies. I wish it was. Find something that works for you. Just do some research. Try new recipes. Try new breakfasts. Make smoothies. It's easy and you can drink it on the go. Actually, it's awesome if you can just find a recipe that works for you and that tastes great, and you can just make it quickly and over and over and over again. And protein shakes are fun and sometimes taste good, other times don't. I think people have a major misconception that healthy food either takes a long time to make or tastes bad. And while in general, on average, that is correct, it does take longer to cook than ordering a pizza, and it doesn't always taste as good because spinach. Don't let my girlfriend hear that. Healthy food can be made just as quickly and taste just as good as unhealthy food. It's just about putting some effort and trying different things. The perfect example of this is smoothies. They don't take any time at all to make. They aren't expensive either, and they can taste great if you just find a recipe that you like. So stop living under the assumption that healthy food is hard to make or tastes bad. It's just because you're ignorant about the different possibilities there are. Ask any cook and they'll tell you that proper cooked food is a lot better than any fast food you can get. You just have to learn how to make it. So the third and last aspect of the productivity triangle, or trifecta of productivity, or whatever we want to call it, trinity of productivity, is exercise. And like all of the other ones, it affects our health in a major way, and it affects our days and our happiness and our energy in a big way, but most of us just kind of tend to ignore it and pretend that it's not there. Exercising by definition is hard. It is going to our limits and then pushing ourselves just beyond it. It is working hard so that it is less hard in the future. It's breaking down our muscle fibers so that they can build themselves up stronger and better. So obviously it's not always going to be fun, it's actually going to be hard and it will take energy. It has been shown that a small amount of light exercise is very effective at improving our energy levels in the short term, but I don't believe that's a long-term solution. I don't want to just go for a walk every day. If I were to spend 15 minutes walking every day, I'd rather spend 15 minutes working out more heavily so that I'll be healthier in the long run. And the healthier we are in the long term, the more energy we will have in the long term. As with everything, it boils down to what works for you. I hate giving that advice because it doesn't actually help you figure something out. In this video, I just want to remind you that these three things are fundamentals. You know about them, you probably know what you should do about them, you probably thought about doing something about it before. So I urge you to actually do something about it. If you feel tired, if you feel unhealthy, if you feel like you could look better or feel like you want to get better at cooking because it tastes good, then do it. This is just another reason to actually work on those three fundamentals so that you can get more throughout the day, so that you can stop feeling tired, so that you can be happy, so that you can actually support the people around you. Stop being tired so that you can have the energy to help yourself and help others. These three things make such a big difference towards your energy levels, and you know how to fix them. You've read a billion articles on how to fix these things. You just need to find the right motivation. And if tiredness is going to be that for you, then thank goodness, because the more people we have in this world who are healthy and energized, the better the world will be. And the easier it will be for us to overcome difficulties and crises like the one that's going on right now. So take the extra time you've gotten because of this pandemic and stay inside, work extra hard to become healthier so that when this pandemic ends, you can go back to work and be a better version of yourself. Although I know we all love cats, we should not be like them because while they sleep for 20 hours a day or something like that, and honestly, that's just a waste of time. So sleep better, eat healthier, and exercise a bit more, and you're going to be much more energized and much happier than you are right now.